大家中唔中意個愛心口罩啊？係由 Dorian 設計㗎。如果你中意咧，就記得去以下呢個 website 度購買，記得擺 promotion code 啊。因為咧部分嘅收入咧就會donate俾慧妍嘅。慧妍雅集咧就係香港小姐嘅慈善機構，我亦都係海外嘅會員嚟㗎。咁我梗係想出翻一分力啦。咁希望大家都支持啦。OK。Hi， 你好，今日好開心咧！呢個係個 special edition， 因為咧唔係疫情係 election 個 presidential election 個選舉嚟啦，咁啊特登今日個 special 咧，我請咗我 cousin 喺 New York 同埋佢朋友我 cousin Nancy 啦 ，Hi Nancy。Hi, how are you doing?
Hi.
And his friend Miguel, they both from New York. Hi, Miguel.
Hi, Ashley.
Hey, nice joining me. Thank you for your time to talk to us. Give me some what's going on in New York because I live in LA, so I know kind of what happened. But we also want to know what's happened in New York too. So 朋友啦，咁咧今日咧就想請到我cousin Nancy 啦，以前同佢傾過偈，佢個朋友就咪交佢 New York 大嘅，咁啊今日喺 New York 咧想同我哋講下而家 New York 投票情形啊，佢哋多數選邊個啊，咁我哋都好想知道嘅，咧問下佢哋啦。Hi, how are you guys in New York?
We're hanging in there. Yeah, we thought it would be a little better, you know,
okay.
or a little worse. I don't know. They're saying that the next 4 to 12 weeks, we could be hit with another wave. So I think we're all buckling down and preparing for the worst.
Yes.
Okay. So make sure you get your full shot. 咁啊，大家都知道 Nancy 咧就喺我 hire 嚟嘅。我問下阿 Miguel 先。Miguel, so are you a native New Yorker? Where are you born? Where are you from? Can you tell me a little bit of your background?
Of course. Yeah, I guess I'm a native New Yorker because I was born in New York and I've lived my entire life in New York City. I'm of Dominican background. My parents came in the 60s to New York City.
Oh.
And yeah, like Nancy said, yeah, we're hanging in there. You know, things have been really rough since the first lockdown. And we're hopeful. We're hopeful that the elections will bring us good news.
Okay, yeah, we all hope too. Really excited to see what happen. 咁啊 Miguel 咧就話佢喺 New York 出世 ，New York 長大，佢 New York native New Yorker 嚟㗎。咁不如問佢個國佢嘅籍啦。嗱，我哋亞裔啦，睇下佢係咩裔啦。Okay, so we are the Asian vote, right? How about you? What about give me a little bit. What's your ethnic group?
My ethnicity, well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my ethnicity is Hispanic, and I'm Latino. Okay, so, you know, Latino is anyone from Latin America of background, Latin American background, and we come in many different, you know, races, and we look very different, but our ethnicity and language makes us one.
Okay.
Although we are one, we have diverse ideas of who should lead us, especially here in this country, in our country. Because although we are, again, one because of the language and ethnicity, we have that in common, but we all come from different social and economic backgrounds. And that has a lot to do with how we vote, what we heard as children, and how we want the world to go, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, it's, you know, actually,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You know, it's very similar to your views and how your views are different from my views as an Asian American who was born and raised here.
Yeah,
very similar, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. 咁啊 Miguel 咧就係佢係 Latino 嘅，咁我哋 Asian 啦，佢就係 Latino。咁而家 Latino 嗰個 vote 好緊要喎，因為咧佢哋嗰個 group 係好大啦，所以佢哋嘅 vote 係非常之重要嘅。I know in the election Latino vote is very important now. Can you tell us a little bit about background and why it's so important now?
Well, I think that the Latino vote, just like the African American vote, is a contentious situation.
Can I just throw out one stat? I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just was reading that in some of the swing states and the battleground states, that some of the Hispanic votes can make up to 16% of the electoral vote in certain states, such as Florida and Arizona.
Texas.
And Texas. Oh, in Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
Texas 16%。
15%.
15%。
Yeah.
OK。
Yeah.
咁而家 Latino vote 好重要，因為佢哋喺啲 swing state 即係搖擺州啦，即係如果Donald Trump 或者 Biden 邊個贏啲搖擺州，可能佢哋已經贏㗎咯喎，所以搖擺州好緊要。而 Latino 喺搖擺州嘅 percentage 係佔咗差唔多15%，所以佢哋嘅 vote 係好緊要嘅。咁Miguel, can you tell me what's your Latino thinking? Who the majority Latino supporting in New York? I'll say in New York first.
Oh, well, I hope they're supporting Biden,
Okay.
but many Latinos support Trump, and they support it for several reasons, right? They support him because he's pro-life, some religious views, right?
Okay.
Also,
what percentage of Latinos are strong Catholics?
a lot.
A lot of them are very religious.
Are very religious, but that doesn't, not because of that they're going to vote for Trump. No.
Oh no. Okay.
No. That is because they're Catholic. That's not going to make them vote for Trump. No.
Okay.
What makes them vote for Trump is depending. Like I said, there is socioeconomic background. So if they come from a situation that they have to escape their homeland because of socialism, they're not going to want Biden because for some reason we misconstrue Biden's politics with socialism here in America. So they don't vote they vote Trump. They vote Republican.
Oh.
Traditionally, like Cuban Americans vote Trump. Republican, yeah.
So
Cuban American
majority?
Vote Republican.
Oh, they vote Republican.
Many
So-
Cuban Americans.
So is the majority
Wow.
majority of them, majority of Latino and Cuban American, they vote for Trump?
Not the majority of Latinos, the majority of Cuban Americans.
Oh, the Cuban American vote for Trump. Okay. So
Yes, a lot.
OK， 咁Miguel 就話Cuban American 咧就喺 New York 多數都 vote for Trump 嘅，但就唔係 Latino 啦。So Latino vote for Biden?
Wait, what's that?
Is Latino vote for Biden?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm a Latino that votes for Biden,
Okay, so why
And
do you
I
vote
know
for Biden?
many, yes, and I know many other Latinos who are voting for Biden.
OK， 咁Miguel喺 New York 咧，多數啲 Latino 都係 vote for Biden 嘅，而 Cuban 嗰啲咧就 vote for Trump。So what's the reason you vote for Biden instead of Trump?
Well, because I understand the Republican rhetoric, less taxes and how they see that it's unfair to tax and that they go for a small government intervention and they allow you to grow economically, like capitalism. But there's a lot of unfairness that goes with that. That's how I see it. Biden cares not only for the middle class and the rich, but the Biden Harris, they're both saying that they're going to work a way that, for instance, it's going to be a more fair society than what's going on now. And I feel that our country is more divided than ever since Mr. Donald Trump became president.
佢知道共和黨咧，阿 Trump 咧就係唔係好中意tax 啦，亦都係唔主張一個好多 government 插手嘅好多嘢。咁但係佢咧就係會 vote for Biden 嘅，因為佢覺得 Biden 唔止淨係 care middle class、high class， 而且其他lower level 嘅 class 咧，佢都好照顧啊，會好多嘢會公平啲啊咁樣咯。I know how you feel now, and so more of your friend and family, they also going to vote for Biden?
No, not everyone in my family is going to vote for Biden. I have family members that vote for Trump, that are Trump supporters.
Oh.
Actually, it's kind of like you and me. Like I am pro-Biden and you are pro-Trump. And I feel like it's because you feel like Trump is anti-communist China, right? For the most part. And it sounds like
different. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like in the Latino community, the people that escaped communism
or socialism,
or socialism, they also feel the same way, that Trump is very strongly anti-communism, anti-socialism.
Yeah, and that wins him a lot of vote, and I understand. You know,
you do, because
I understand because I grew up with those people who vote for Trump, Ashley. So you understand, those are loving people that I grew up with, and who were very kind to me. So their point of view and the way they see things, although we come from the same family, is not the same way I see it, because we had different experiences growing up.
Yeah.
I grew up differently. They grew up differently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're older than me.
Yeah.
But how can they reconcile how Trump is trying to do away with DACA? And how
that's selfishness.
And he's separating immigrant children from their parents.
That's just from me. It is heartbreaking. That's being selfishness, and they don't say anything about it.
Oh, they don't say anything, even though
they say
also
it's
Latin.
Yeah, I know, it's horrible. Yeah, I think it's so sad. I don't know.
Yeah. So Miguel 佢就話佢個 family 咧都唔係全部 vote 晒Donald 唔係 vote 晒 Biden 嘅，咁佢 family 都有人 vote Donald Trump 嘅，咁佢覺得呢幾年 Donald Trump 將呢個社會分裂啦，因為唔同嘅意見政見都分裂得好犀利嘅，咁我哋問下佢，咁佢家庭之中睇下有冇咩政治糾紛啦。So it seems your family they all have different opinion. And some different candidate. So do you?
Yes, they do.
Do you feel that pressure or stress within your family, or you can even have different opinion? It will be fine.
Yeah, we're fine. We wouldn't argue for something like that. At least I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Like I said, these are people I grew up with. They just have a difference of opinions. Like Nancy, I agree. I don't know why on God's earth they think like that, but you know.
Okay, that's good to know. 咁啊，咪教話雖然佢 family 即係佢家庭裏邊咧都有人佢見證唔同啦，有啲人 support Trump， 有啲人 support Biden， 但係佢哋都冇因為咁而去鬧交啊，而嘅都好融洽嘅，冇話即係因為咁就家庭分裂嘅，所以其實呢樣嘢都幾好啊，起碼即係雖然大家政見唔同，但係都唔會話分裂一個家庭啦。I really appreciate to hear that because I know it's in Hong Kong they have different political view and opinion, and sometimes a lot of people even end up divorced.
Oh, that's terrible.
Some people running out of the family. It's really heartbreaking to hear that. But at least
it is heartbreaking.
In your Latino community, everybody can accept different opinion. I think that's really good.
Yeah, we're more cheesy. That even if like. So we're more like, at least in the way I see, the way I grew up, I'm not gonna hate a relative. I don't think a relative is gonna hate me. It's just like, we're still gonna get together for Christmas. We're still gonna get together for birthdays.
Do you feel like the family unit is held more sacred?
Oh yeah, it is. It's forced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we're raised to be very respectful of the family and
very close together.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Okay, good.
We are.
咁啊，Miguel 佢就話雖然佢大家有政見唔同啦喺屋企，咁我話因為好多其他人咧因政見唔同，有啲人又離婚啦，有啲係離家出走啦咁佢話佢 Latino community 咧就唔會係咁嘅，佢哋好 close 嘅。雖然大家政見唔同，但係佢哋都係一齊會聚埋家庭樂啊，譬如聖誕節啊、Thanksgiving 佢哋都會喺埋一齊，唔會因為咁而大家會分開咯。咁 Yeah, I think it's really good. So can you tell me what's happening on the street and what do you see? Is anything different? Can you share some with us in New York?
Okay. Yeah. So early voting started a week from yesterday. Started last Saturday. Okay. And even though this is pretty much a Democratic state, we're pretty much pro-Biden, and we're not one of the battleground states. There were so many people that turned out for early voting, and we had really bad weather last week. There was a lot of rain. It was really cold. It was the first week. It was like really cold, and it was very rainy. And a lot of my friends and other people that I know, they waited in line for over 4 hours just to cast their vote. 4 hours. Over sometimes up to 5 hours. And then the senior citizen line, the senior citizen line and the disability line wasn't much better.
That's awful.
People were waiting over 2 hours. I think, it was so bad that they changed the voting times. So I think in the beginning, voting started around 10 a.m. and on some days it started at 12 p.m. And now they changed it since last Friday and Saturday and today to start at 7 a.m. So the voting lines got a lot faster. So when I spoke to one of my friends, she said she only had to wait in line for 45 minutes yesterday. And then,
what time they close? 5?
I think they know at 4. I mean, I think at 4 p.m.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, 4 p.m.
Okay. 咁啊 Nancy 就話而家 New York 咧就上個禮拜六咧就可以預早投票啦。咁但係條龍咧要4-5個鐘好長，而且天氣又凍啦，又落雨啦，咁好辛苦啊！但係啲人都唔怕，照排隊嘅好長咁等。咁咧，但係因為等得咁辛苦咧，就佢嘅改咗時間。以前咧就係由10點啊、12點先開始嘅朝頭早，而家就7點鐘開始到晏晝4點。咁而家就快好多啦，45分鐘就得啦，唔使咁耐啦。Wow, I can't believe people have so much patience. I was thinking to vote on November 3rd. You know, hopefully we don't have to wait so long. But our weather is much better. You know, so yeah. Oh my God. So have you guys voted yet? Did you stand in the line?
I voted. Yeah, I waited an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, you do. You stand in line hour and 45.
Well, yeah. But the very first day, yes.
Oh, wow.
Last week.
Wow, first day. How about Nancy?
You know what?
Have you voted?
So I think the rain and the 4.5-hour wait deterred me from doing early voting. Part of the problem was that the Board of Elections, they didn't think this out very well in New York City.
They didn't.
There was like one voting site around my area for all of us,
really?
like within a mile. Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad, actually.
Same thing on the Upper East Side. There was like one voting area, and then everybody. It was the only place we could do early voting, and a lot of people, I think, including Val as well, we didn't trust mail-in ballot.
Yeah, I don't trust it either.
You don't trust
it? Yeah, neither do I. Neither do I.
Yeah, everybody that I spoke to, all of my friends, they said, except for one, a lot of them did not trust mail-in voting. Everybody wanted to show up in person. And they wanted to make sure that their voice was heard, even though it's not a swing state. Yeah, but I plan on going on Tuesday because, because the voting precinct will be smaller.
Yeah.
Are you going at 9? Okay.
Yeah. Well, do they have more station open now? Do they have more station open now?
Yeah, with the voting precinct, it's smaller, so there shouldn't be as long of lines. The way that the early voting did it is that they put like a large area and they just put one booth. Whereas on the day of the election, there'll be a lot of different precincts and you're supposed to vote in your precinct.
Okay. 咁 Nancy 咧，佢就話佢唔信投票郵寄投票啦，咁佢哋阿 Miguel 同 Nancy 都自己親身去投。Miguel 咧就上禮拜第一日early voting 第一日就去咗啦，排咗大概2個鐘頭隊到啦。咁 Nancy 咧佢就話佢哋New York organize 唔係得咁好啦，因為early voting 係得一個地方喺附近好。係唔係好多個 station 有得投咯，所以啲龍咧就咁長，所以佢冇去到。咁而家改善咗啦，咁佢咧就會星期2就會去投票啦，咁咯。I'm glad I heard they getting better because especially with this weather, how you can wait there for so long? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it. People were bringing stools so that way they could sit down. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. You know, and then also some businesses were boarded up.
Really?
I think, like Saks Fifth Avenue, some of the higher end stores, especially around Soho, they were boarded up because they're afraid about what's going to happen after the election.
Yeah, I heard about that. My friend's thinking buying gun.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I think it's especially New York. I heard it could be more dangerous New York because everything closer and more people. Yeah, in LA is more spread out, so we can hide from our home, you know. So okay, let me translate a little bit. 咁啊，Nancy 佢話好多人好多鋪頭已經落咗版啦。咁咧就因為驚住投票之後咧就會有暴動啊，咁佢自己亦都要有準備咯。咁希望個暴動唔會發生啦，但係大家都要即係預防咯。So did you guys prepare for any big riot after the election?
You know,
what do you think is gonna happen?
I actually think Biden is in a very good position to win. And I think if Biden wins, there won't be any protests. I don't know. Do you think there's going to be protests if Biden wins? Yeah. I think there's going to be protests if Trump wins, right?
Actually, I'm more concerned that there's going to be protests if Trump doesn't win.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Wow.
Why do you think that more people supporting Trump?
I think that the people who support Trump are people, with all due respect, at least here in New York, I don't know the community, the population in Los Angeles, are very aggressive, a lot of them take the racial thing and, you know, and it could become problematic. I'm praying that it won't be. But from what you hear them say, yes.
Okay. 咁咪交咧我問佢有冇擔心選舉之後有 riot 啦，佢話擔心如果Trump 選唔到咧就可能 riot，Biden 選唔到咧可能冇，因為佢覺得Trump 嘅 supporter 咧可能會比較野心大啲啦，或者會反應大啲啦咁樣啦，係啦，咁啊 so Miguel yes. So I hope that everything will be peaceful and won't have any trouble. We don't want all this trouble. So
no, we sure don't.
Yeah, you guys have to be careful. So do you see any big rally on the street for either party?
I haven't.
I
haven't heard of any.
So very different than in LA. And LA is a lot of Trump rally. I don't know why, because in 2016 we don't see a lot, but this time we see a lot in like Beverly Hills, even on the street where I live, and especially on the weekend, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. So
incredible,
New York, and so it's pretty quiet in New York, right? It's not a lot of.
It's been quiet, yeah. Maybe because of the weather. Actually, the weather, like Nancy said, has been dark and gray, rainy, cold, damp. You know, when in that type of weather, you just want to go home, you know?
Yeah. Here, very beautiful. Every day is like.
You're so lucky.
Come here.
I would love to go.
Enjoy the sunshine here. Yeah. 咁咪交就話 Nancy 就話 New York 就冇好似 LA 咁就好多人喺街度support Trump 啊，好多 Trump 旗啊出嚟咁啦。咁佢話可能因為 New York 啲天氣就比較又凍啦又濕啦，佢話呢排啲天氣都係唔係咁好，所以可能冇乜人喺街度，唔係好似 LA 咁陽光普照啊，空氣又好，天氣又好啊，temperature 又 perfect 啊，咁好多人出嚟咧就會party 啊咁樣咯。Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time and give us all the insight about what's going on in New York. Yeah, so hopefully everything will be fine after the vote, and we're all excited about on Tuesday, next Tuesday, what's going to happen.
Yes.
But I think we might not know the result, right? Because they still have to count a lot of ballots. Maybe they cannot confirm, but we have probably a rough idea what's going on. Right?
Yeah,
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and very nice to meet you. Thank you for taking your
time. It was
a
pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll see you and take care, okay? Be safe and healthy.
Okay.
Bye. 多謝大家收睇我嘅節目，記得 subscribe and 俾 like 啦。